What is up, YouTube? This is an impromptu video. So, listen, I wasn't going to record this video. I was going to do kind of like a day in the life, just because it's my off day. But I went to the gym and I looked on the scale and I was like, bruh, like, nah, I'm not feeling it today. Because I thought I lost like 30 pounds or like 45 pounds, but technically I only lost like 15 pounds. I was just looking at the kilo part. I hate those old scales that you got to slide over. But yeah, so we're here and I'm going to be doing pros and cons of seasonal work pertaining to my experience being here for 2 months. I've been here for 2 months. That's crazy. In Colorado, Estes Park. So yeah. First, my first pro. We're gonna start with the pros. Always start with the good. Actually, no. Let's start with the bad first. I like the bad news first. I hate when someone's like, "Oh yeah, like I have something to tell you," and I gotta wait. So we're gonna do the bad news first, or the bad part first. It ain't even bad. It's just kind of like proceed with caution. So first one for me, it would be distance from home, being away from family members and loved ones. If you don't know it, I have a daughter, a beautiful 7-year-old daughter, and that was one of the reasons why I stayed in Portland so long, and I was being on the verge of being evicted or getting evicted because I was looking for all the other alternatives, looking for other ways out to be with my daughter, but ultimately I had to leave. So yeah, being away from her, not being physically there, even though I talk to her frequently and video chats, it's not the same like being home. So being away from my kid, family members, you have to, if you're an introvert, you might like that. You might be like, oh, I don't want to be around family members. But if you're someone that loves to be around family, that's something you may have to think about, because these contracts can go from like 2 months to 6 months to 8 months, even like year round. So, and think in certain places you're gonna be, like, if you live on the East Coast, you might be all the way on the West Coast, you might be all the way in Alaska, you might be, you know, wherever. So you might be really far from home, and um, you might just get homesick. Um, I wasn't really homesick. I was just missing my daughter. But yeah, that's something to think about if you're someone that's family oriented, or if you have kids. You will be missing a chunk out of their life. Also, the pay. The pay is kind of like on the lower end. But well, here it's on the lower end. I get minimum wage, which is, I think it's for the people that's pocket watching, 14.42 an hour. So like, I think I get less than a McDonald's worker. So the pay is not that great. I mean, obviously, the benefit of not having to go through the hassle of security deposit, first and last month's rent, DNA sample, all that crap. I was just playing, but just like all the extra stuff you got to go through um, with rentals and how expensive it is. It's just that's kind of like the give and take. Like, your pay is not going to be a lot. There's other seasonal jobs that pay you more, but they may be a little bit more like remote. But as far as this place goes, I think just because it's a nonprofit, like, they don't really pay as much. But yeah, you're not gonna get rich. Like, like that's not gonna happen here. So if you're thinking about getting rich, you should probably try another. You should probably stick to a traditional even with a traditional 9 to 5. You might not get rich. So yeah, the pay it really sucks. Like it's low. And then the third one is the food. Now, the food is kind of depending on the person and their stomach. They probably can tolerate it. And at a time, I was able to tolerate it when I first got here because I've been here for 2 months. But then, like, I've been sick. I've gotten food poison 3 times since being here. And that may not be the organization you're working for's fault. You gotta take into account like there's people preparing the food, and you don't know if that person it is you don't know what that person does, if they value this job. Sometimes they may have people, just like if you eat out somewhere, it's just like eating out every day. Like you wanted to eat like fast food every day. That's what it's like. It feels like, here. The food is decent. I don't want to say, because I know someone's thinking like, oh well, there's people starving all around the world, and yeah, but I'm paying for this. Like I'm paying for this food, right? Um and yeah, so that's another thing. The food, the quality is like made to be mass produced and affordable. So I don't know. The food is really like it really. I like I said, I've been sick 3 times, like 3 times, and the third time I was like, you know what, I'm paying for food out of pocket, and that's another thing. Like I said, like the room and board is 170 a week. So, or if I didn't say that, the room and board is 170 a week here. So literally, I'm paying for my room, but like I'm using the resources of food that I'm not even eating. I'm not even taking advantage of. So I look at that as an L because like okay, I'm paying for something I'm not even using. So I'm gonna go and talk to HR and see if that's a possibility. If I can somehow maybe not have to just pay for the room and board, and not have to pay for food. But I don't think they do that. So yeah, just be advised. Like, and if you have dietary restrictions, ooh, boy, yeah, like you can be vegetarian here. Like I could see that. But as far as like being a vegan, you're gonna come out of pocket. And like I said, like you get 14.42 an hour. Like you don't get as much. Um, you don't get as much as you would working a traditional 9 to 5 in some places. So, like you paying out of pocket for food might be hard, especially if you want to save up. And I have a list, so I wrote it down. So that's why I'm looking down. So the next would be your roommate. The roommate, I think I did 5 on each pros and cons. So just to give you a heads up. But yeah, roommates, like you don't get to pick your roommate, right? And my roommate is a really cool dude. He's cool, he's sociable, but like cleanliness is not a strong suit. And yeah, like it's just like yeah. So you have to beware, like you're gonna be room with someone that you may or may not get along with, or you may or may not um deal with, like frequent with their habits. That's one thing. Well, you may not get along with their habits and things like that. So that's one thing. I mean, that's for the roommate situation. And then lastly, for the cons, you live where you work at. So a lot of times, like say like I had to put the phone down, man. Like my arm hurt. A lot of times you're like working with people that you live with, basically. So like, and especially if you're going to get food because they have like a dining hall or whatever, like those, you see those people on a day to day, every day, all day. Like sometimes on my days off, I stay in the room because like you see the same people over and over again. And for some people, like you're cool with, like, yeah, like, it's not a bother. But for some people, for some of the people that you really are like, oh man, like this person, especially if you're not a social person, if you're an introvert, yeah, you got to think about that. Like, this is for any seasonal job, unless they do like, you do your like food, like they you have to pay for food out of pocket, or like, you don't have a roommate situation, like you can probably like, duck off. But yeah, for the most part, you're gonna see people all the time, and it might start to get annoying, especially if you're an introvert, especially if you like that day you're not feeling, some days you might not be feeling social. Like I know sometimes I struggle with that. Like some days I'm just like, I don't feel like, talking. I don't feel like I don't have that social battery charged up today. So that's something to be aware of for all my introverts out there, you know. Think about that. And so we're gonna move to the pros. I know people have been waiting on the pros. I've been waiting on the pros. I don't want to be negative and nasty, like, bro, like let's do the pros, right? So the pros, your living situation. Like, so like I said, you pay $170 a week for room and board. So that comes out to be like, say 4 weeks would be, I kind of equate 4 weeks to a month, even though I know it's a little bit more. So you're paying about 680 a month. Give you a little context. Before I got here, before I got evicted, I was paying 1,450 for a 350 square feet apartment. That didn't include food, electrician, electricity, internet, all that. That didn't include none of that. So I had to pay for that out of pocket. So it was no way of me being able to save or being able to do anything. Um, and I was, and I still have my daughter, which is, my responsibility. So to help out with her mom. So yeah, like I was paying a lot, So here it's like room and board, so the internet too. So it's like, the food, internet, water, electricity, um, your living situation, your your bed, and they have a kitchen too. So yeah, like it does come out good. Like if you can stomach the food, you definitely could save a lot of money being here. Cause I only have like my phone bill and, being responsible for my daughter. I don't like saying like giving my baby mom money. I like saying being responsible for my kid because, you know, my kid's not a payment. It's you know what I'm saying? So I like to say that versus like, being like, oh, like it's a bill. Okay, so living situation, which is a plus. Um, Being able to save. Like I remember before when I first got here, before like I was like hypomanic and I bought a ticket to somewhere, and then I bought like a game system. Like I have a game system. I bought a PlayStation 5 because it gets kind of bored here. But um, like I say, like for the first time in my life, I saved up some money. Like I think I was at a grand, $1,000. And to some people, cause I know people like save up a lot of money, but I wasn't raised to save money. I never, I was, you know, I kind of like I saw like people just spending money as soon as they got it. So like I've never like you just too busy, trying not to be poor to save up money. And up until now, I didn't ever had the resources to save, but like I saved up $1,000. I was so proud of myself. And then I spent it. So crazy, dude. So Um, once I get back on track, I plan on sticking to saving and things like that. And it allows you to do that. It allows you to save money. I think I'm gonna try to find like some foods in the dining hall that, I agree with. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna set a budget aside and then be able to save that money for food. So I'm gonna be able to save the rest of the money. So, but yeah, you're able to save money just because everything is really cheap, and you get paid okay. Like you get paid decently. Even no, the pay is low, but like you can save up money here. Like if you just really buckle down and not spend a lot and not eat out, because a lot of people eat out because of the food. So don't eat out a lot. Buy your food, and because they have a kitchen here, a community kitchen where you can cook your meals and things like that. So do that, save money. And I'm pretty sure it's like that other places too. Um, this is just my experience here. So next, it would be living in nature, dude. Like I've literally sent my daughter like 10 videos or 10 videos or pictures of different species of animals, whether it's bugs, whether it's like, elk, moose, deer, um, prairie dogs, black squirrels, you name it. Like it's a lot of nature here. I went on my second hike here. My first hike was in Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. This was my second, and this is the place where I learned that hiking's not for me. It will unless it's like kid friendly hiking. That's what I'm doing. That's what I do it, but not no. But yeah, I went on my first. It was like 2 hours long, and it was not for the faint of heart. And that was supposed to be like the easiest one, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to ever feel that pain again. But like it's just so beautiful here. Like you're surrounded by the Rockies, and a lot of seasonal jobs is kind of like the same. Like they're in these, beautiful places where people, they don't have like the employees to work, so that's why they offer seasonal jobs and room and board to attract people. And some of them are remote places, and you get to be around all this beauty. I grew up in DC, nothing but concrete. I was fortunate enough to move to the South as a kid, but like I do have a respect for nature, and this place kind of like it 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 helps me, have more of a appreciation for nature and the beauty of it. So you live in nature, and next I want to say your health. When I first got here, I was about, I believe I was 268, and now, just because I thought I was 200, I thought I was like 230 or whatever, but now I'm like 250. So, and that's without trying. That's just me working. So I've lost some weight since being here. Uh, the higher elevation, it kind of like you have to adapt to it. So I believe that's good for your body, just because like your lung capacity, you're operating at a higher altitude. So I don't get winded going places anymore. Like it's nice. Yeah, like I feel like my health has been better since being here, like my physical health, so that's another thing. Like those seasonal jobs, those outdoor jobs, you're gonna be living in a new place. That's another thing. You're living in a new place, so you can change eating habits. You can change. That's what one thing I did. Like actually, yeah, I did that, and then I fell into the trap, and then I was eating all kind of crazy stuff. I have a thing for apple fritters. I don't know why, but I have a thing, and I went like weeks of eating apple fritters straight, two at a time. So, yeah. So you're in a new place, you can actually just like, try to, change up your eating habits. It allows for it. I don't know about certain other places, but here they have healthy alternatives. Um, they have healthy alternatives if you choose to do so. I'm laughing because I got food poisoning here three times, and it might not be the it's not might not be the kitchen staff. I mean, it might not be the place. It's just it might be the staff. It might not even be the staff. It just might be like maybe I got bad luck three times, but anyway, so you can change up your eating habits. Like you're in nature, so you're walking around a lot. So yeah, it does have an impact on your health. So that's another pro about seasonal work. And then lastly, I would say, and this is like the best probably, the people you meet. I know this lady that stopped working here. She stopped working here, and she said like, yeah, only thing I miss about working there, is the people. And granted, like that's her experience. This is I love this place. This is an amazing place to work for the most part. Um, but yeah, like the people you encounter, like you might meet someone that's 18 years old, full of life, full of joy. Then there's a 30-year-old are like, it's like you don't know nothing. It's like life hasn't hit you yet. But yeah, nah, I'm just playing. But you might be somebody that's 18 years old, starting out on life. And then you might meet someone that's like 80, and full experience and full of, stories and things like that. And people from different walks of life, people from different parts of the country, people from other countries like Thailand, Jamaica, Spain, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Colombia. They have them all over here. So, and you become friends with these people because you live and work with these people. So, yeah, I would say the friendships is the best thing because you're all in it together. The experiences you're going through is with these people as well. So yeah, just meeting new people, friends. That's another pro, like lifelong friends. But yeah, so in a nutshell, that's my pros and cons. Little bit of a ramble. If you don't know, that's how my videos are. I'm a rambler. Deal with it or don't deal with it. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna make videos anyway. But yeah, so just wanted to drop that video, impromptu. Had nothing else to do. I probably will do a day in the life tomorrow, when I'm feeling a little bit better. Not even feeling a little bit better, but mentally, back on track. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. Hope you're having a good day. And until next time, peace out, misfits.